Welcome back to the Discomfort Zone. On today's show, we always check in with our feeling thermometer and where we're at. And today we're really going to lean into how to make small incremental changes, that 1%. How do you make all that difference with tiny little changes?
Yeah, and we did some challenges. So I set Nadiva and Matt a challenge to challenge some of these celebrity fad diets and see what they're really all about.
And we answer a question from one of our listeners about how to stop picking at your children's food during tea time.
And we say fish finger a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
A
And
lot, a
reference
lot.
to pickles.
Fish finger.
Hi everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
How are you all doing?
I'm good. How are you?
good.
Nice
Good,
to
thank
be
you.
back here again.
I know. Episode 2.
Another week back in the recording studio, guys.
I know, it's
Welcome.
very exciting.
I'm getting very comfortable here, I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like it's coming my second home and it's only week 2. Do
Yeah.
you feel that? I feel at place.
I mean, I feel quite happy just sitting and talking all day long. So
Standard.
I never really doubted the fact that I wouldn't feel comfortable being able to listen and talk about myself.
No, in good company. And thank you, LaunchPod Studios. Very comfortable here.
Nice plug there.
yeah,
Yeah.
well done. Jim.
Excellent chairs
Well
as
done, well
well.
done.
Quite
Right.
comfy on the back. How's your week been, Matt?
It's been a good week. I just got back from a holiday and trip, so I'm feeling very good.
Holiday, where
actually.
were you?
I went to Edinburgh
Oh,
for a friend's wedding.
party.
For a party with the little kids. The kids stayed at
Boozy
home.
one?
We had quite a boozy one.
With the kids.
No, the kids had a babysitter.
Ah, okay.
So no, I'm feeling good. Had a really good week. How about you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Good. Actually, I went to Barcelona.
That's right.
I did. And that was pretty good too.
Hence the tan.
Hence the tan. I'm always quite tanned though.
Yeah.
I'm like the tanned one. And really weirdly, we were sitting by the pool and then me and my friend were saying, oh, those guys are really fit. And it was the Liverpool football team on their team building day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get any numbers?
No, but I didn't understand. I was like, oh,
Weren't
look,
they
it's...
playing on the Saturday?
Yeah, they took a private jet. But I thought that's a really good idea for a team building day. So I thought maybe by
Discomfort
episode
zone.
5 or 6, we should do a team building day somewhere like Barcelona or Mykonos or somewhere
Ibiza.
that's exotic, because I think it really helps when you're in the sun.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Do that.
That's
Or go-
this is it to our other halves. We're letting them know now.
Yeah, exactly.
On this episode, future warning, in 3 episodes' time, we're fucking off on holiday.
But also, I think if you
Team
said
building.
you've
It's a
Yeah,
work
sorry,
event.
sorry.
Work event.
Team building holiday.
you could definitely put that through expenses. And also the
Yeah.
fact is we've now said it and it's live, so it has to. It's in the
Shit's
ether.
going down.
Yeah,
It's
we
happening.
can't be corrupt. But yeah. Shall we talk about how we're feeling? Because last week we did something which we want to do every week called the feelings thermometer, which is basically checking in with each other to see how we're feeling. And I also talked a lot last time about, well, my disdain for psychologists and feelings.
Disdain now. Oh my gosh, we got uncomfortable
That's
last
because
week.
none
and
of
now
us
moved
said we
disdain.
were a 10, even
What's-
though we all
okay.
said we were feeling good.
What's disdain? So I use big words a lot, but I don't always know what they mean.
Disdain, like contempt, right? That's another big word.
Give me a smaller word.
Dumb it down.
A strong negative feeling.
Okay. Okay.
Disdain, really disliking something.
Oh.
Yeah. Almost.
You
hate-
weren't disdained. I wouldn't say that was it. You were just confused as to why none of us said we were feeling a 10, even though we all said we were feeling good. But none of us said 10.
Okay, so how are you feeling, Nadiva?
Honestly, my anxiety's through the roof today, and I do not know why. So I'd say I'm probably a 6. But I feel
Okay.
fine. But I don't know, just having one of those days.
Oh,
I think it's just been back to back with work and admin and life, and it's just been very busy.
Mm.
well done for showing up then.
Thank
Showing
you.
up for everything you did today
Thanks.
with high levels of anxiety.
With a smile on my face.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe by the end of this, let's ask you again at the end and see how you're feeling.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to climb up.
Okay,
Climb up a few steps.
good.
Jem, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling pretty good. I'd say like a 7 or an 8. Not because I'm feeling wrong, but I don't feel pretty good. I don't know. Nothing's particularly bad. Nothing great. Somewhere in the middle.
So.
Yeah, so.
So.
You?
I think like a 6.5.
Wow. Okay, we're all really flat. Why?
I had
Matt,
had a
to
really-
you.
I had a really tough day today.
Did you?
I did.
Work.
Work-wise, yeah, met lots of families who were struggling today. So that was my role to support them. So, yeah, if we're being really real, it was tough today. Some days are harder than others.
Do you find it difficult when you deal with clients that are going through really tough days to not take it on yourself and bring it home?
I've learned over a long time to not take things home. But I think part of my job is to feel really strongly. So I feel really deeply with people. And then I learn how to let it go afterwards. But I find what happens afterwards is I need to like discharge it, go for a walk, get out and get some fresh air. But it leaves you tired. Of course it does. So that's why it's a 6 and not a, what was it last time, an 8?
Yeah, I feel
Eight,
like
not
I
a
think
10
we're all like
last
an
time.
8.5,
Like-
9.
yeah, we were all absolutely buzzing on a ridiculous high last week.
It
But
was
maybe
so
that's
good.
also because it was the first one and I was about to go to Barcelona, so I also knew that
We were
I was
all
going on
also
holiday.
high on caffeine.
Very high on caffeine. Although I am drinking a pre-workout now, but never mind.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And thank you for everyone that listened last week because, wow, it was so exciting.
It was
It
so
was
It was
exciting.
so
exciting.
exciting for us to do.
Very exciting.
So I think we need to delve a little bit deeper into our purpose of the discomfort zone and why we are here. And since we have started telling our clients, particularly around what we're doing, they've all said the same thing, which is they are so excited for us to tell them how to change. And I think maybe we should caveat that with our job is not to tell you how to change, because most people shouldn't have to feel like they need to change they shouldn't need to change. But what we would like to do is help you start or make some progress.
Yeah.
And we can do that from a body, but we thought maybe what we haven't done is really talk to people about how to tune in up
The
here.
brain.
With the brain.
Yeah.
Well, like we said the last time, the brain and the body, they're all connected. And I think that's like a topic to really go into. But I think just getting started, one of those things I think we can talk about today is that idea of the 1%. The 1% makes all the difference. So whether that's in the brain or the body, I'll be interested to hear kind of your thoughts about what that means in the gym. But actually, forget the idea, forget the notion of transforming your life when you want to make changes. Have the idea, embrace the idea of making tiny, incremental, cumulative changes. Make the idea of, I'm going to do one little thing different today that's in the service of where I want to be, and do that every single day. Push yourself outside your comfort zone, just that tiny little bit, every single day. And that's what I would work with people on, like helping them stay committed with that. Find the course, find where they're going to go, and go with that. But slow and steady wins the race.
Okay, so don't say I'm gonna never been to the gym and I'm now gonna go 7 days a week, eat 1,200 calories, and then do a marathon in June.
No, so what would you say if you say somebody's just about to get started? What's like one thing to like just get started? Do one thing healthier.
Get into the gym.
Get
Showing
there.
up.
Show up.
Like, who cares if you show up and you do 5 minutes? Just getting out of your house, into your car, and showing up to the gym. I'd
Yeah.
say that's a win.
Yeah, that's a
For
win.
someone that's like just starting up, has never done any exercise, never thought that they could get into the healthy fitness mindset, if they can go twice a week, just show up. And even if they do 10 minutes, I say to my clients, start off with 10 minutes and then build it up. Don't go in and say, I'm going to do an hour, because you switch off after 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. Even like taking it a step back and going and buying yourself a new pair of trainers or like a new piece of gym wear, because then I feel like when you spent money on something, you feel like you should wear it, or it makes you feel better about yourself in order to go and then do the thing that you're a bit nervous about doing. So what I find mental is these like clients or people that have read some celebrity fad or like movement and they say, okay, I'm going to follow the like Gwyneth Paltrow movement, for example, and it's just the most insane way of living your life. Or like when you watch Instagram and people kind of wake up and they've done an hour meditation and a yoga, and then they've gone to the gym for an hour and then they've made their oats and they've done all these things that are just unrealistic in real life. I think people think, well, I'm never going to achieve that, so they don't even start.
I think probably the chances are your life's probably pretty good, actually. Like, actually, often people find when they want to make changes or go somewhere, it is actually some of the smaller things just clicking into gear or a couple things feeling a bit easier, because actually it's those little small changes that make a huge difference. We went for a walk the other day.
We did.
We went down the south.
So, wait, sorry, 31 kilometres. We didn't go for a walk, Matthew. We went for a journey, a hike. I mean, 31 kilometres, a never-ending hike, which in 3 hours in, you were like, oh, we're really close to the beach. We could just keep going. And we were an hour and a half from the beach one way and then had to come back.
Well, we were near the ocean. Well, we're on the South Downs Way, so you can kind of see the ocean for parts of it. And then I said to you, one of the other ideas was we could go by the water. And once the seed was planted, we kind of couldn't let it go. So we then found the river, and then the river obviously led to the ocean. So we had to go to the sea, and then I had to go in the sea.
You did.
I did have to.
But then you had to go back.
And then we had to go back. And it was so funny. We talked the whole way there, and on the way back, we were so quiet.
You ran out of conversation.
We were so tired. We had absolutely no.
You've used up your 3 hours of convo. There's nothing else to talk about. So
I think
we mute for the way home.
Well, it was like 8 hours. So we probably talked for 4.5 hours of the first block back to back. Didn't stop talking, and then there was trickles of conversation for the second half.
I have to say, the next day I saw Gemma in the gym. She's like, I cannot move.
Yeah,
my
calves.
hamstrings are fucked. I can't move. I'm like, what's wrong with you? You just said what? No, I can't.
I think people think a hike is like a walk, like just walking for a long time, and it is, but it was a challenge. So maybe that isn't a 1% increase. And also, I had never done a hike in hiking boots, and I decided to do 31 kilometers. So I'm a person who is extreme in everything I do.
Yeah, but you didn't start off like that. Take it back to how you first started.
What?
You didn't wake up. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Strip it all the way back.
I remember exactly how I first started my fitness journey.
Go on.
That I was living in Israel and I was basically living on vodka and shots and then pizza crusts at 3 a.m. Nice. So I would work in a club.
Just wait 1 second. Just the crust, not the whole pizza?
No, just the crust, because I thought, oh, I won't eat a lot of calories.
Worst bit.
No, oh my God, I love a crust.
God forbid it should have some cheese on.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Right.
Don't.
How many people just eat the crusts?
Oh my God, I love crust. Toast crust, pizza crust.
Stop there.
Yeah. I love it crusty. I love crust.
So basically, when your kids ask you to cut off their crust,
best thing ever.
Don't worry, kids, I've got you.
Me and the dog both eat the toast crust. It's like my favourite thing. And I came back and I remember seeing a picture of myself and I had put on a lot of weight. When I'd moved to Israel, I was very skinny and I put on a lot of weight. And when I came back, I put like a post on Facebook, because that's what we used at the time. I'm that old. And said, does anyone know a personal trainer? Not MySpace. Go away. MSN Messenger. And I was like, does anyone know a personal trainer? And my friend said, yeah, I'm a personal trainer. And I started to go and see him. And then I just fell in love with it. But I'd say it took me 5 years to get to where I wanted to be. And then I think as a trainer or as a person that trains, you never really are satisfied.
No.
Because I think complacency is dangerous.
Well, the growth, like the 1% idea is also like make changes that are 1% more than you did the day before.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's also about like maintaining that. If you maintain 1% every single day, if you just grow a little bit more, try a little bit, push yourself, keep on doing that, then over months and years, you've traveled so far. All the changes you've made are huge, as opposed to making a huge change, like you say, go to the gym 5 times a week. And then after 3 weeks, you're just exhausted. You don't go back for another 2 weeks. Then you start again. And then you're building on progress. You're not building on progress. You're catching up again.
It takes a long time to see change, which is the main reason why people quit. Because I think if they don't see change quickly...
Yeah, everybody wants that magic wand.
Yeah,
How many times do we have it? I've had clients that come to me and be like, I've got an event in 3 weeks. I'm like, okay. I need to lose 3 stone.
Because they'll read the Victoria's Secret. This is how I changed
That's
in
not
3
going to
weeks.
happen 3 weeks. I can get you into a good place mentally, and I can get you into a good place so you feel good about yourself. But to lose 3 stone in 3 weeks, that's not going to. There is no magic one. If there was, we'd be out of business. So
Yeah, that's true.
For long term.
Yeah,
changes,
change takes a
yeah.
long time.
but you still work. You're constantly working on yourself.
Yeah,
We're still constantly challenging and pushing ourselves.
yeah, but it has to be in a way that is sustainable.
And works for you, and everybody's different. What works for you doesn't work for me. What works for me doesn't work for Matt. So you can't just look at what works for one person and be like, oh, if it works for them, it's going to work for me. So I'm just going to follow what they do. Like what you're saying with the celebrity fad diets, it doesn't work.
So what?
You've got to find something that works for you. Do something for you, not because you've read something on socials and therefore I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah.
How do you find your thing?
Well, I think you've got to take in consideration your circumstances, how busy your life is, what else is going on, what you can and can't do, and work with a trainer or work with someone, go with a friend, whatever it is, and set realistic goals and start small. Don't start big.
Yeah.
Small steps, like start with the 1%. Find one thing, whatever it is, be it what Jem said, getting a new gym outfit, getting a new pair of trainers, downloading an epic playlist, and that's what's going to get you going.
Don't write, don't set a timeline. Don't say in 3 months I need to be 4 stone lighter.
Never set a number goal.
It just doesn't work. And also celebrate the wins. So each time you do something, celebrate it. Don't think, oh, how could I have done that better? We are so good at always thinking we didn't do good enough, and you just need to be able to stop for a moment and take stock. And like you said, I did more than I did yesterday. That's a win. Or I
drank 2 liters today and I didn't yesterday
Of
vodka. But that's a win. It doesn't have to be I've lost 3 pounds this week. How often do we see that with our clients?
Yeah,
Or-
that's true.
I turned up today.
Yeah.
Today, like for all of us, like no matter what happens,
I showed
up for myself, because actually we're not doing it for anybody else.
Yeah.
I guess the reason people listen to this podcast or you want to do something in life, it's for you. It's not for anybody else. And so
I think if you're listening to this podcast, it's because you want to know like how you can improve yourself a bit more, or how you can be motivated a bit more, or you think, I'm just really interested to see what they have to say. But
And we're bloody hilarious.
yeah, I don't feel very
Well,
funny
you-
today.
Do you want to do like 10 star jumps and wake
No,
up a bit?
I just don't feel very funny.
Oh,
Don't know why. I'll be funnier soon.
okay.
I just think I'm not feeling very funny.
we'll do a time check and we'll check in on that again.
What about how funny I feel?
Funny levels.
Okay.
We should get the clapometer. Clapometer?
What's that?
It sounds terrible now said out loud.
What's a clapometer?
Clapometer, like clapometer.
Clapometer.
A clapometer. You know, like in the game shows where they would like, come on, guys.
Oh, a clapometer.
It's what is that? How you say it? A clapometer.
A clapometer, yeah.
Clapometer.
No, I actually
Not
think
like a thermometer.
Matt's right. A I can't even.
Clapometer.
Clipometer. There you go.
Way.
Clapometer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clapometer.
Like you don't say thermometer.
It's like
Thermometer.
it's like Spider-Man's not a Jew living in New York. He's not Spider-Man. He's
Oh my
he's
god, that's
Spider-Man.
Friends. It's like Goldman
Goldman.
with Phoebe. Sorry, I'm
Absolutely
totally.
no idea what any of you are talking about.
I feel like now's a good time for a challenge. I feel like we all just need to.
Okay. So I have set the
Jen
challenge
set
this
the
week.
challenge this
Ooh,
week.
what have we got?
I genuinely have no idea what it is.
Neither do I.
So I apologise in advance.
So nobody knows what it is. So
Well, you do.
Okay, so this is what I thought we'd do, because we've referenced the fact about celebrities and they're ridiculous. Actually, sorry, can I read something first?
Please.
I read this today and I just thought it was ridiculous. It came up on my social media about Gwyneth Paltrow's routine. Just when we're talking about don't set unrealistic goals.
Right.
This is what Gwyneth Paltrow does
Go skiing.
for her health routine.
Right, yeah.
And this is what she advocates. So she says, "Hi guys, I love what I do, and Goop is a great way to live your life. This is how I live my life, and as close as you can get it would be amazing. I tend to eat dinner early around 6 p.m. and then I do a nice intermittent fast until 12:30 p.m. the next day. In the morning, I usually meditate for an hour before I have my coffee with a delicious celery juice. I then do an hour of movement, like a walk or run, followed by an hour Tracy Anderson routine. I then dry brush my whole body with a loofah for 45 minutes, followed by a 30-minute infrared sauna.
When does she shit?
For lunch, listen, for lunch, I enjoy a nice bone broth and dinner, some vegetables to support my detox.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
What's she actually eating other than air and
So
celery?
so
When is she-
that
when is
is
she-
not a routine or a health routine. That is a fucking eating disorder.
When's she going to the toilet? That's stressing me out.
When is she doing parenting? When is she doing work? When? Oh, she guess this is her work, but that's not life.
No. So I just thought that is ridiculous. And anyone who thinks that they're going to try and live their life like that needs to go to the
But
fucking
hasn't
priory.
she also made candles out of like
Who?
vagina smell?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So
She does have
should
it.
we be taking any form of ideas? from-
No, but lots of people do because she's clearly doing well. So
Yeah.
all I would say is stop listening to Gwyneth Paltrow.
Do you know what we should do? Is find these ridiculous fads, do it for a day and see how we feel.
Well, okay,
Not
so
that I have that
that's
much
what I've
time
done.
in my life.
That'd be great. A bit.
well, so I've looked up some weird celebrity diets,
Okay,
and
okay,
that's
okay.
what I have set for you guys for a challenge today.
What have we got?
Well, I
Bone
can't
broth.
tell you.
Bone
So
broth,
there are three
dry
things.
brushing and a celery juice.
Yeah, I want you to dry brush your whole body with a loofah on camera. Okay, top to bottom.
Okay.
So
James, can
I've
I get
got
help for the
three
back?
things. You have to taste them, and you're gonna tell me what it is. And I also want you to tell me who you think lives this celebrity diet.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
That's really difficult.
It is really difficult. So we've got two spoons. I'm very organised. I've collected lots of things in opaque pots, so you can't actually see what they are.
Is it a blind test? Must we close our eyes?
Well, you can't.
You gonna feed us?
I could feed you, but maybe I won't. So I've looked these up as the 3 most celebrated celebrity diets.
I'm really nervous.
Okay. First one.
Should we close our
Oh,
eyes?
that's my
whilst you
water.
pour?
Don't do that one.
Can I
That
just
that generally is water.
drink.
Yeah, you
before?
might have to have a little swirl.
I've got
Okay.
nothing. Yeah, nothing
So-
to wash my mouth out. So are these going to be pretty awful?
No, I don't think so.
You've got
Right.
your Red Bull. Have you finished it?
You might
already?
have to
Red Bull's gone,
share a
Did it give you
cup
wings?
for this one.
pretty much.
Okay. What you have to do is not make a face when you drink that. And Matthew, you need
Can I
to
smell it?
eat this. No,
Just eat this.
you're gonna eat this, then you guys are gonna switch. You
Right.
have to finish it.
The whole thing, Jem.
Yeah.
That's like. There's a lot in there.
Yeah, you have
I
to
feel
do
like
it.
the camera can't see how much is in it. This isn't a shot. And I know we did the ginger
do I-
shot last week.
Okay, do I look?
Yeah, you can look. So you have to take a spoonful of that. It's not going to be disgusting.
Yeah.
Take a
Can I-
spoonful
can I
and
do this?
describe what it is. Let Matthew go first. Go on,
Oh.
what's that?
Okay. It tastes like what I give my kids.
Okay,
It's like
interesting.
like an
Stewed
apple,
apple.
sauce.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. You go. And then you're going to give it to Matthew.
Smells of cinnamon. I like cinnamon.
What do you think? Oh,
no.
God, her fucking swallowing bad. Creepy swallower. Okay. Would you like a clean spoon? Do you know where Matthew's been? Here, you can have that spoon.
I'd say that's
Oh, gosh. Hold that. It's going to fall.
cinnamon,
Mm-hmm.
apple juice.
Okay, interesting. Here, Matt, you're going to taste this. Tell me what you think.
Oh, Jem, you've put both spoons in. I don't know which one's the clean one.
It doesn't matter. Just do it. Right, you're going to have that. And you're going to tell me what it is. And then I'm going to give you the final one. And then I'm going to explain to you who backs all of these as their weight loss fads.
That's stewed apple.
Okay?
Cinnamon water, like a scoop of cinnamon and some water.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. And then pass me that cup. I'm going to give you your final one. And I'm going to explain to you. Oh, God. Okay, maybe don't drink all of that. Because.
It's a whole little party in here.
All right, tell me what you think. Smell it.
Oh, it's like wine. Oh, I can get on board with this.
Go on, taste it.
Do you know what this reminds me of?
Here, you know what?
That
You can just drink that out of the bottle.
Drink.
Passover wine that you
Yeah.
have at Seder.
This feels like Passover because
It does.
Cinnamon,
I'm
very
passing it over.
cinnamony.
Go on, you need to drink it and tell me what you think.
it's really really bad wine.
Oh dear Lord!
It's really bad wine. Is it what leftover
what you do from,
wine you
like-
opened a couple of days ago?
Is that
No, okay,
Friday
so-
night wine?
Right, so that is just red wine, but I found the cheapest bottle at home
Okay.
because I wasn't going to give you my nice stuff. So that
Wine.
is red wine. This is baby food.
Yeah.
And this is cinnamon, maple syrup, cayenne pepper, black pepper, and lemon.
That was
Wow.
actually delicious, by the way.
Was it?
The cinnamon, yeah. You should really try some. It's
Not bad at all.
This is Beyonce. So she says
no
you drink.
cayenne pepper whatsoever. I didn't taste anything.
Oh, I
peppery.
put. So she says you drink 5 to 6 of these a day as
And
her
what's it do?
detox diet. Well, you lose weight.
5
but
to 6 what?
of these are like cups a day.
Not boob bottles.
No, it does have basically when I had my boobs done, all my friends bought me boob related gear, and I can't take it anywhere because it's awkward. So I now just have
Bring it
never.
to the podcast.
Yeah, so now I just thought I'd bring my boob flask to a podcast.
I love it.
This is baby food because Tracy Anderson says if you eat baby food, it makes you full but also feel sick, and then you don't want to eat any other food.
Oh my God.
That was really tasty.
And then the red wine
That's
is.
but sorry, stop you for a second. That's terrible. She
Yeah.
would say that.
It is terrible.
People will listen to that.
You know the other thing she does?
No.
She
People
eats food that is out of date so that it makes you feel sick and queasy.
Well, why don't
Oh.
you just eat Teddy's dog food?
Yeah,
My
I know.
Teddy.
Guys, that's
Ridiculous.
not healthy. Please don't follow the stuff.
It's- and
love
then-
yourself. Please love yourself more.
What about the red wine though? So the red wine is Adele. So Adele drinks red wine and she eats dark chocolate. So I'm like all for Adele because let's be honest, who wouldn't want to do that? That's amazing. But she drinks, it's called the CERT diet or something. And she believes that eating like very high in tannin foods is great for weight loss. So all of these, the point is they're all a little bit weird, right? But which one would you do?
If I had to choose one.
Yeah. None of them because they're bad for you.
glass of red wine
No,
at the end
but
of the day?
yeah, I
It's
mean,
very
if
nice.
someone said to me,
Yeah.
you had to choose one of these 3, red wine and dark chocolate.
Red wine and dark chocolate all day
Although
long.
my stomach actually can't take red wine, so can we switch it to rosé or a gin and tonic?
No, because that's
want
not
some
the point. It
tannins.
has to be red wine. It has to be tannin.
Come on, look after yourself.
Exactly.
Drink more red wine.
Exactly. Drink the red wine.
Fortunately, my husband's got crap loads of red wine at home.
There
so
you
I'm just gonna
go.
have to go and be like,
But
sorry,
the
babe.
point is, these are all weird fads, right? And Beyonce says that she drinks about 6 or 7 of these a day, and that's it. So it works out about 150 calories a
Wait,
day for 2 weeks
Sidetrack,
pre-show.
That's all she eats or drinks
Yeah.
every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Well, obviously you're going to lose weight.
Is it nice? I try it. I didn't actually try
You're
it.
not.
You're not
There's
eating
no
anything.
substance to it. It's like the Special K diet.
Oh, it's actually not that bad. I didn't put enough pepper in.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
But that's ridiculous.
It's
Sorry.
ridiculous. So, don't do Beyonce. Don't do
Don't
Adele.
follow the internet.
No, maybe follow Adele because she's cool and I can live on red wine and chocolate. But everybody else, I wouldn't do it.
But don't come to our classes drunk. Or
No,
do.
or do. I
Or
think
do,
it'll be really
actually.
fun, yeah.
Or do.
I'd love that if you came drunk. Not too drunk. We do have quite a lot of people faint sometimes.
Have you got the sick bucket in the corner?
No, but there's a toilet.
There is a toilet.
There's a toilet.
And we have chocolate in the corner for people that need a bit of a sugar boost.
I had one client in my whole career who vomited on me.
On
whilst I
you?
was training. Not on me. Whilst we were training, I was
Alright.
like, yes, I've made a client vomit. I was so excited. I've pushed her to a limit. I was like, are you okay? She goes, I'm hungover.
Oh,
So that doesn't
yeah,
count.
Doesn't count at
No.
all.
We did.
So I'm still yet.
We did. I did a lot. Well, we did a lot of martial arts when younger. I've
We did.
continued to do a lot of martial arts.
I did not.
You did not.
Kung Fu is not for me.
Kung Fu.
You have to be really disciplined and
That's true.
I just don't have
That's
any
true.
discipline whatsoever.
I remember like throwing up so much with that.
Really?
He would push us to the point where you're absolutely exhausted, and throw up. Mostly hill sprints.
Did you have the whole outfit as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Yeah.
was the weirdest guy. He worked for Thames Water
he's a great guy. by
and
the
would
way.
show up, really good guy, in his
Yeah.
Thames Water van. And then one day he showed up in like a 1960s Beetle car. And my dad decided that he thought that should be my first car and tried to buy it for me. It didn't have power steering. It didn't have a key. The clutch didn't
It didn't
work.
have a
You
key?
had to like double.
How's
I
it
think it's
turn
called like
on?
double down, where you have to like rev into second gear. There was
Double
no
to
first
clutch.
gear. Double to clutch, yeah.
Can
Then
tell
you have to
she's
go-
older.
When you have to go into second gear, and that was supposed to be my first car.
It was a cool car though.
Yeah, but not when you were 17. You wouldn't install the car on like the roundabout. I'd never go anywhere. I'd just sit there. She'd be like, it would never move.
No,
No, not a cool car. Anyways, don't listen to anybody else. Just listen to us.
I did listen to you last week though,
Okay.
and I did a whole week of wall sitting.
Yes.
How did that go?
It was tough.
You sat on the wall for a week. You did nothing
Yeah,
else.
James is absolutely sick of me. I haven't left here for a whole week. Let me out.
Didn't
I
really
tell
go
you
to
what,
Edinburgh.
it was really tough, but it's funny. Every time was just as tough with the wall sits because every time you get to the end of it, it feels just as painful. But every time got a bit longer. And
Okay.
I tried to not look at my watch, so I would just kind of feel when I just was enough was enough.
So 5 seconds.
So, so what was it last week? It was 50. I remember because 52 or 53 seconds.
Okay,
Did it again this afternoon.
right.
1 minute 43.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And quite consistently was like every day got a little bit better, some days a
Well
bit worse.
done.
But thank
When
you.
are you doing it in the day?
First thing
Okay,
in the morning.
Nice.
interesting.
That's
I'd be curious
impressive.
to see what you did when you had food and fuel.
Okay.
So maybe if we say this week, do it again,
Yeah.
but do it after
oh my God,
a meal.
Another week. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
another week. Yeah, but see what it feels like when
Doesn't
you've
have to be
actually
every
eaten.
day.
No, well, yeah, but see what it feels like when you've eaten some food or some protein,
Okay.
and just see how you feel.
How did you guys get on with? I set you guys a challenge last
You did.
week.
Do you want to
Did.
repeat what challenge it was?
Yeah, well, we were talking a lot about comparing and despairing. So
Yep.
viewing yourself compared to others, and I was encouraging you to really just be a bit more self-aware, like what happens. So the first stage of that was just noticing, does it happen, and if so, how often? So I asked you guys to pick an hour, a couple hours, one day, and get a pad of paper and put a dot every time you found yourself thinking of yourself in a critical way, comparing yourself to someone else. So did you guys find time? What was it like if you did?
So I kind of did it a little bit differently to what you said to us. Whenever I was in a situation, I remember that situation, what it was, what triggered me to compare myself to other people. And for me, the consistency of it was when I was in the gym.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
It was the only time that I was aware that I was looking at other people and
Well, like
criticizing
comparing-
myself
Okay, so why would you criticize yourself? I'm
Of-
so intrigued by this.
of how people looked, of how people were lifting heavier than what I would do.
So
I
let
would
me
just
ask
be-
you something. So you come to the gym.
Mm.
If you've never seen a diva in the gym, she always wears excellent outfits, but like always a crop top. So do you not think people look at you and say, well, she's in a crop top. She obviously feels super
Oh, I'm
confident.
totally aware that it's an irrational feeling.
No, I'm asking, I'm
But-
curious.
That's how, for me, those were the only moments that I was like, oh. I
And
want to
so, and the process of just kind of getting in touch with, oh, that's happening.
yeah, it was difficult.
Yeah.
That was hard because had to acknowledge how I was feeling. Normally, it's just a subconscious thing. This time, I was like, oh, I'm feeling this way.
Okay.
And every time I felt that way was always when I was in the gym.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second.
Okay.
Jem, did you manage
Doctor.
to do it?
Yes, I did. And I didn't have any of that in the gym, actually. But I think I talked about it last time. Like, I am pretty body confident, I would say. I had it last night, very clearly. And this is going to sound really self-indulgent. But I went to a charity event. And at some point in the night, they had Eric Pickles, which I also think is the best name ever. Like, who wouldn't you just love to be called Mrs. Pickles? Actually, Darren, my husband had a guy who worked with him, and he had a French bulldog called Mr. Pickles.
Am I supposed to know who Eric Pickles is?
Yeah, he is. He is a man who has a really important job. You Google. He's in the Conservative Party, I think.
The Right Honourable Lord
The
Pickles.
Right Honourable Lord
Was
Oh, if
Pickles.
you
the-
would have said that, I totally would have figured out who he was.
He has a really good job in the politics, basically.
He was the Prime Minister's anti-corruption champion from 2015 to spring 2017 and was the Secretary of State for Communities and Local Government. So, obviously...
Yeah, he's a politician. Anyway, he's actually not the point of this story, so I just like the name Mr.
Shout
Pickles.
out to
So
Eric
Mr.
Pickles- at
Pickles,
Eric Pickles.
right honourable shout out Mr. Eric Pickles, was interviewing a guy called Jonathan Friedland, who is AKA Sam Bourne, the author. If you ever read the Sam Bourne
Yep.
books, they're
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
He just wrote a new book called The Escape Artist, which is about an escape from Auschwitz. This isn't supposed to be depressing, but he was basically interviewing the guy, and he was just saying, like, how accomplished he was and what an amazing impact he'd made on the world with all his books. And I basically just sat in this charity event thinking, why haven't I done something amazing? And why haven't I done something impactful? And why isn't anyone interviewing me about doing something, making like an impact or having any notoriety? Which might sound really weird, but I really want to have notoriety, not fame, notoriety. I want to make an impact. And I felt like a bit of a failure yesterday that I just hadn't done that in my life.
Wow.
That's so long-winded. That was a lot to say.
Yeah, it was. And I think
I feel like you're as a psychologist, you're like, there's no book for this.
there's no
She's out of the literature.
well, she's, tell you what, Jem, you're just human.
You've had articles
just
written
human.
about you.
Yeah, but they're not like great.
Oh, you want like a standing ovation, big like this is
I
the
want
night
them
of
to
Gemma
say,
Isaacs.
Gemma Isaacs
You want a night
changed
of
the
Gemma
world.
And the
Well,
Oscar for best person
Yeah.
is
Exactly.
A
Or like,
night on Broadway
Yeah.
with Gemma Isaacs.
One night
Did you know,
only.
ladies? She
I
can
want
sing.
people to walk past me and be like, oh my God, did you see that?
being a celebrity would be terrible.
No, I don't. That's what I mean. I don't want fame. I want notoriety. I want to do something
You don't
good.
want fame, but you want people to acknowledge you in the street and stuff. Be like, can I have an autograph?
No, I don't want an autograph. I want to be interviewed by somebody who says, thanks for the impact you've made on the world. It's really handy. And you've done something great.
Well done. So,
Or like just like an award.
shout out to Eric Pickles. Next time.
Do you never go to something, you know, like when, I don't know, they do an awards thing or they read it out and you secretly think, oh, I hope the dedication goes to me, even though you know you're not there and you know you're not nominated and you know that you haven't done anything. I think maybe secretly someone in the room's nominated me.
Yeah, it's all been everyone behind the scenes has been
Yeah.
working.
It's like the Truman Show. Everyone tirelessly been working behind this entire charade, and really, it's a night dedicated to me. Or, you know how I don't know if you've seen those Instagram ones where it's someone like funnily filming themselves doing funny things, like laughing silently because they're basically filming their own obituary because they know the husband would never do it. So they're like washing the dishes and playing with the kids, and they slow mo it. They're like. That was me silently laughing for the people that are listening. And and it's a bit self-indulgent. It's just gone down a whole other route.
Let's wind us back
Matt
a second.
doesn't know what to say
Let's
right now.
wind. I'm a bit.
I'm only being honest. You asked me. I don't compare
No.
myself. Like
No,
I-
but okay. So I think what's interesting, and I think this is where I might take you guys next week. This is where I'm going to take you guys next week. I think anyone else that wants to join in can join in too.
okay.
Where so last week was about noticing that you do something. So noting a habit, or noticing in this case, self-critical thought commentary.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing to do is to work out when you notice, oh, something's happening and you're feeling a bit self-critical, self-doubting, or less than, what thought comes up? It's a bit more tricky, but it's a bit of practice. So a thought, by the way, everyone knows what thoughts are and feelings are. A feeling is an emotion. It's usually a single word we put towards something, like feeling frustration, sadness, happiness, anger,
Jealousy.
in this case. And then a thought is usually, could be pictures and things, but in this case, it's a sentence in our mind. So in this case, every time you compare yourself, it'd be interesting to think what thought comes up, what thought is tied to that self-critical moment. For instance, I wonder if Gemma, when that happens and Eric Pickles is being interviewed.
Shout out, Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles, oh my God, I said his name so many
I feel
times.
like we should get him as a guest on our podcast.
And you're saying, I want to achieve something more. You know, you're saying, why isn't that me? And maybe that's the thought. Why isn't that me? Or the thought is, I want to achieve more with my life. Or maybe a really self-critical one, I should have achieved more than I am right now. It'll be interesting to try and capture that. And that's what I might task you. When you find, or Nadiva, when you find yourself coming back from a gym session and you were like, I was really self-critical and anxious today, to come back and just spend a moment wondering what happened and what was the kind of thoughts going through my mind. And to capture that. Because I imagine if we do that a couple of times, you might find some themes that come up with the type of thought that comes up. Do that, bring it back next time. You don't have to tell us the thoughts. That's completely personal. But I think the exercise we can work from next time.
Okay.
That make sense?
Yep, makes sense.
All
On
right.
board with that.
Okay, challenge
Challenge accepted.
I feel like it's slightly vacuous because I was going to move on to do questions of the week from our audiences, but I generally have a question about fish fingers, which feels really weird because you just got really deep and now I'm about to talk about fish
How
fingers.
have you
fish
gone
fingers?
from wanting a night dedicated to you to fish fingers? Were there fish fingers served last night at the party?
Where-
I just want to be a fish finger. No,
How? Please.
I actually like. There's no good way to transition.
Segue.
This.
Okay.
I can't even segue because it's like this is no point. What you do makes an impact on the world. What I do doesn't. I literally talk about fish fingers. Like that's not. I cannot finish. If today was the last day on Earth and I was basically helping people not eat a fish finger, that's terrible.
Well, okay. No. I don't agree. Actually,
Oh wow.
I don't agree because I think there's also too much pressure in like the social media world to think about you doing something so incredible, so outstanding. Well, actually, I think quite commonly, what's wrong with making impacts in your community, with your family, with your friends? You're a very good friend. You're a good family member. With the people you support in the gym. How many people? You never know how far a ripple will go from a drop in the ocean. If you,
I like that.
so you might throw in a pebble with something you've done with one of your clients. Like you might have just said one thing to them, or shown them in a class. You can push yourself more than you think you can, and they might be able to use that metaphor or that learn something in that session with you that you have no idea where it will ever take them to, and they might not even know it either. But when they come, it might be 2 years from now, they'll find themselves going, I'm going to do that thing. You know, I've learned over these years, I can push myself further than I ever thought about. That limit I thought I had, no, I can push past that.
Yeah.
I think doing things like helping people in any way. So my way is just because I help people people facing lots of suffering. Your way is helping people who want to better themselves.
Okay.
I think there's huge value in that. There's also huge value in just being a human being. I think there's too much pressure in being incredible.
Okay.
I agree.
So, on that, let's put the fish finger on a pedestal and look at how this fish finger is going to change your life. So, the question I had about fish fingers.
Okay, go.
I have to finish the question on fish
Go, go,
fingers.
go, go.
Otherwise, if someone's put a reel out about fish finger and I don't talk about it, I literally look like I've just obsessed with either
That's
eating
gonna be
fish
the challenge
fingers
next week.
or I like fishy fingers. So
Oh, Emma.
let's not do any of this. That came out wrong. I had a question, or we had a question on social media. One of them that I picked out was around how do you not pick at your kids' fish fingers when they're eating dinner and you're trying to lose weight? So it did have a purpose with the fish finger.
It's a great question.
It is a good question.
I can definitely relate to that one because it's so easy just to eat a little bit of the chicken nugget or fish finger that's there because your kid never finishes the food.
No.
Oh my God.
I know. And then you look at them and you think, oh my God, how do you not want to eat that whole
It's so
plate?
delicious.
It got so
It's so
weird.
good.
How do you not want to
I
eat
don't
it?
have that issue,
Okay. Well,
fortunately.
okay. But it may be.
But
Please
I have
God,
it
one
with
day.
clients.
Exactly. When
Okay,
clients
so-
ask you,
What? So experts, panelists across the table on helping people with their diet and nutrition.
yes.
What would you say, like somebody that wants a bit of help to not pick up that fish finger?
So-
Make a snack.
Yeah, that's what I do is if my kids are eating and I know that's a tempting time for me, I make something to eat. And it might be a high protein snack like some boiled eggs or a protein shake or tuna. What I don't do is stand next to them hoping I won't want to eat the fish finger because inevitably
You're
we
gonna eat the
always
fish
want to
finger.
eat a fish finger because it's a fantastic food. Not health-wise, but it just tastes bloody delicious and it's really hard not to eat it. So make yourself a snack at the same time as your kids are eating a snack.
And sit down and eat with them.
Yeah, and eat with them. That way you don't have to avoid the meal times with your kids, but also you're not going to eat the things that you don't want to be eating. And then it creates a habit. So then you send to your snacks around 4 or 5 o'clock when they're eating their dinner, or you have your dinner early with the kids and
Also,
you might make
it's-
yourself something else.
Surely it's nice for the kids to see you eating as well and sitting down with them rather than just sitting, staring and watch them be like, eat a fish finger. Like,
Yeah.
it's nice that you can all just sit down together and make it into a family. We're all eating, be it a snack, whatever it is. but
Yeah.
they're watching you sit down and eat.
I feel like we said the word fish finger a lot. 2 words,
Yeah.
fish and
Fish
finger.
fingers and pickles.
The one thing I hate.
Oh yeah, Mr. Pickles with his fish fingers. Do you reckon,
Wow,
do you reckon
I
Eric
love a good
Pickles like
pickle.
fish fingers?
Love a pickle though.
I do love a pickle.
Pickles are like my
Only
go-to.
sweet and sour though. Not the.
Gonna shout out to Mrs. Elwoods now.
Ooh,
Do you
no.
know why?
No.
Should I tell you? Do you know why
But
Mrs.
I feel like
do you know
we're
why Mrs.
completely
Ellswood?
going off here.
Can I tell you this though? Do you know why Mrs. Ellswood is called Mrs. Ellswood?
Wait,
No.
I do know this. Wait.
Mrs. Ellswood is not a real person. Mrs. Ellswood is a hybrid of 2 words.
Yes, I knew
Elstree and Boreham Wood.
No.
I knew that.
Which is where...
Shout out to the wood where I am from.
Which is where the pickles were made.
That. I
and
knew
it
there was
is,
something
therefore,
close to
it was
home.
made in a factory and they called it Elstree, Boreham Wood. And then they named it because people like to see a face, maybe like in fitness too. They always like to see a face behind a brand, and they decided to create a personality. And that personality is Mrs. Ellswood.
Wow.
So
It's
Mrs.
actually my
Ellswood,
grandma.
thank you.
So it's a
because
local pickle.
It's a
And we-
local pickle.
And we trust in.
And right honourable,
Homegrown.
Eric Pickles is a local pickle too. So,
And on that note,
yeah. There you go. Named after the Elstree and St John's Wood homes of company founders.
not Bournemouth Wood.
Oh, St John's Wood. Crap.
all right.
Well, whatever. Something would. Either way, Mrs. Ellswood is not a real cow. She's a person, but yeah.
But we trust in. She's obviously wise, and she's caring, and she's nurturing. Who
She
doesn't
is.
like a grandmother's meal?
I've just thought of a good challenge for next week, by the way. I'm not saying it, but
Okay.
on the theme of
It's going to be pickle related.
Pickle
pickle
related.
related.
Pickle
Okay. Well, on that pickle note,
I thought, well done, guys.
yeah. Do you think we should leave it on a pickle cliffhanger?
To be continued.
To be swallowed up next week.
Oh my God. The food euphorism. I hate like hearing people eat. The noise makes me feel a bit
Yeah,
wretched. Or,
and
like,
or drink, apparently.
do you know that I listen to the podcast? I can hear you
Poor
swallowing
Arie.
through
Oh
the
my
mic.
God,
Can you
he
hear her?
couldn't go.
I could hear
No,
her swallowing.
you can't hear it
Yeah,
through
yes,
the
you
mic.
can.
No,
I can
you
hear.
can't. You can't.
I could hear
Only
you
because-
swallow. Shush. I could
If
hear
you wouldn't
you.
have noticed it, no one would have heard.
I could hear you swallowing through the microphone when I listened back on my laptop without
You've got
AirPods in.
sensitive.
I rewound it to
Did
see
you hear
could
it?
I hear it.
Did you turn it up full
No,
volume
wait,
as
no.
well?
Shh. Let him answer. Did you hear it?
I did not hear it until I rewound it.
And then,
I could hear it.
yeah.
Well, after 13 years together, I haven't had any complaints. And see
On
you
that
all
note,
next week.
Remember,
Bye, guys.
follow, click, subscribe, and and also follow Mr. Dr. Matt Slavin, who finally has an Instagram page.
I'm on social media,
He's finally on
guys.
social
I'm
media.
coming to the 21st century.
Exactly.
Well
so
done, Matt.
follow the
Thank you.
podcast, follow NG Fit, and follow Dr. Matt Slavin, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.